Mobick Bear's story, the message hidden in the first Bitcoin block. Gather around, Mobickers, said Mobick Bear, resting under a digital oak tree glowing with the light of blockchain codes. Let me tell you a story that began long before our Mobick world was born. A story about trust, money, and freedom. It was the year 2009. A mysterious person named Satoshi Nakamoto mined the very first Bitcoin block, the Genesis block. And inside that block, he left a secret message. The Times 03 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. Mobick Bear's eyes gleamed. It was a cry from the heart, he said. At that time, the world was drowning in a financial crisis. Banks collapsed, and governments printed money to save them again. Satoshi's message wasn't just a note, it was a challenge. Why must we trust systems that fail us again and again? He asked softly. What if we could build a system where trust doesn't come from banks or governments, but from mathematics, code, and the people themselves? That's how Bitcoin began, not as a coin, but as an idea. Mobick Bear opened a book by Professor OhTae-MinOh, titled, There is No Future Without Bitcoin. This book, he said, teaches us that money itself isn't about gold or paper. It's about trust. Every coin, every bill, every digital wallet, they all carry one question. Who do you trust? In the old world, he continued, people trusted kings, then governments, then banks. But Bitcoin turned that upside down. It said, don't trust, verify. Mobick Bear flipped a digital page, and suddenly, tulips bloomed in the air. These, he said, are from the tulip mania of the 1600s. Often told as a story of madness. But the truth is, it wasn't chaos, it was a new kind of trust system, forming through trade and contracts. Then came the Mississippi Bubble, where a man named John Law tried to rebuild France's economy with paper money. He failed, but he proved something powerful. That even paper can become money if people believe in it. The bear tapped the air, and the tulips and paper vanished into glowing Bitcoin symbols. Bitcoin is different, he said. It doesn't rely on kings or bankers. It relies on code, on a shared belief that no one can cheat the system. That's why some call it the law of nature in the digital age. He leaned closer. Owning Bitcoin isn't just owning a coin. It's joining a new kind of sovereignty. A world built on consensus, not coercion. The forest shimmered again, now painted in green and gold, the colors of the U.S. dollar. But to understand Bitcoin's rise, Mobick Bear said, we must first understand the old king, the dollar. After World War II, the dollar ruled the world. Tied to gold at first, and later to oil. The U.S. printed money, other nations saved it. And the system rolled on, powered by something called U.S. Treasury bonds. He smiled knowingly. Those bonds became the world's foundation of trust. The invisible turtle holding up the financial universe. But in the heart of that system, he said, lies a secret engine called the repo market. It's where banks lend money to each other, using U.S. bonds as collateral. It keeps the whole world's money flowing like blood in our veins. Mobick Bear paused, gazing at the horizon, where a new sun shaped like the Bitcoin symbol was rising. And yet, he whispered, there's a paradox. The system still stands on debt and trust in governments. The very thing Bitcoin was born to question. He looked at the Mobickers gathered around and smiled. So remember, my friends, Bitcoin wasn't made just to make us rich. It was made to make us think about what we trust, who we follow, and what kind of future we want to build. The bear's digital eyes glowed softly. Because, he said, closing the book, as Professor O wrote, there is no future without Bitcoin. To be continued.